Hey guys, Ollie here. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to do a gear vid focusing on kayaking for spearfishing, and the kayak we have here today is the Profish 440 by Viking Kayaks. Hey, if you're new to my channel, feel free to check out some more videos after this. If you're into spearfishing, hunting, diving, gathering, anything outdoors related, that's what this channel is all about. So plenty of action there to sift through if you're new. But yeah, let's get stuck into it. I've had a lot of questions over the last couple of years about my kayak and how do I get set up for kayak spearfishing. So I'm going to do a reasonably in-depth run through and get you sorted. So spearfishing off a kayak here in New Zealand is just awesome. The parts of coast which you can access, which you normally wouldn't be able to, is very vast. It's just those few extra corners around a coastline where you're out of reach by swimming, or boats just don't tend to go to. They usually go far offshore. So it's just amazing. You can chuck it on the roof racks, walk down to any little beach access and just drag it in and you're away. So I've done some of the best spearfishing off the kayak. Choice of kayak is quite important. So if you can afford it, get a nice long kayak. Generally around 4 meters is the length you want. This is a 4.4 Viking Profish 440. You just get that extra length, helps you with the sea chop, so you can really punch through those chop and waves. I chose the Viking because it's New Zealand made. I like to support New Zealand made. These are really awesome kayaks. They come with, I believe, 30-year hull warranty, so they're pretty indestructible. Even if something went wrong, the team down at Viking will sort you out. So hard, durable kayaks, full plastic. I just love something that I can just drag up on the rocks without worrying about cracking a fiberglass hull or smashing it up. So yep, for me this is perfect. If you're going to be specifically diving, a model like this where you've just got tons of storage is the key. So you want length and you want storage. So this has just got vast amount of options, okay? Get what you can afford with your money. I started on a big old double sit on top kayak, heavy thing. It was pretty horrible, but I landed some amazing fish, a lot of good fish off a crappy old kayak. So you don't need the best, but if you can afford it, something like this I highly recommend, because it's basically off the shelf, set up for spearfishing. Alright, so let's run through a bit of a storage scenario if I'm getting set up for a dive, and we'll just show you how it goes. Alright, let's have a quick run through of the boat. We have the front nose of the kayak, plenty of storage up under there. That's where I put all my fins and anchor. So they just wedge up in there. Okay, so we've got an anchor, very useful. I kind of made this one up myself. Got an extra bit of line here with a shark clip, so I will run that through the front onto here. That comes back through, chuck an anchor in here. Then when I'm ready at my spot, whack the anchor over and it's all connected to the front, ready to go. Okay, easy. Choosing a anchor for your kayak. Most kayaks, the standard anchor weight for one of these is 700 grams. Just get a good amount of chain, a couple of meters of chain, and you're good to go. Chain's important, just like any anchor. You need a good length of chain. We have the center well here with these easy bungee tie downs, clip on, 4 each corner, easy to take on and off. So off, middle hatch comes open, heaps of storage in here. That's where I usually put all my mask and snorkel. Got an extra hole here, and you can put rods, fishing rods up in there, or whatever you want. It's just a lot of storage in there as well. So when I'm heading out diving, I'll chuck all my small stuff in the well here, mask, snorkel, I'll put gloves, booties, all that stuff, probably my lunch and stuff in here. Even my weight belt sometimes. Generally I just wear my weight belt on me. Again, key to a boat for spearfishing, diving, storage. So we've got that. It comes with a chop-in board on top for you fishers, or if you want to cut up your cheese and crackers while you're out there having a dive, a little snack. This is a key add-on I got. It's a dry well, which again, easy, comes off. It's a dry hatch, so this is where I keep my mobile, car keys and stuff. That's right in front of the front seat. So that's really useful, handy. Highly recommend having a seat, and this just came with the kayak. It's a propelled seat, which does the job for me. Those longer trips, crucial just to have that back support. Shorter trips, couple of Ks you'll be fine, but doing trips 5K each way, I wouldn't go out without that seat. So we've got these wells at the back. You can turn those into to live bait wells or more storage containers there. They've got a hole that goes right through to the bottom to let the seawater in. Rod holders just everywhere. If you're into fishing, I keep my dive flag in the back here. I just poke that in there. Have a little extra safety clip that on somewhere. Crucial, tying down everything on the kayak, okay? Really important. I've flipped this boat a few times, and yeah, the first time didn't have much tied down, lost a lot of gear, lost a lot of fish catch that day, so that was a bit of a bummer, but I learnt my lesson. So they come with a built-in little holder here for your paddle. Clips on when you're not using it. Highly recommend getting an actual leash. Had a bit of a run in there without a leash and lost the paddle. Okay, these are awesome. So you've got these chill pods that just fit exactly into the back well here. Easy as chucking fish in and out while you're diving. You can get the chill bags as well. I believe they might be a bit better in terms of cooling fish, not heating up too much, so there is a lot of air space in here, but I've never had too much problems. Just chuck a bag of ice in there before you head out, and you've got nice place to put fish straight onto ice. Now these come out very easily. It's got a little buckle here that undoes, and this whole unit comes out. So you can chuck that in the back of the car or wherever, and you have this massive section in the back here. So I'm all for getting fish straight onto ice, so highly recommend one of those pods, or at least one of the chill bags. These kayaks are all set up for rudder installation and stuff. They've got these special star mounts all over, little grooves for sinkers and baits for your fishing. They're just ready to go. Handles on the inside here for hopping on and off. That makes it really easy. It's important to have a nice big stable kayak for diving off. If you have a little narrow one, it's going to be very tricky getting off in choppy, rough conditions. So a little bit of a technique, but it's really not too hard, especially with a kayak like this. It's just so stable. We have footrest here, easy slide and adjust so how long your legs are. So they're awesome, makes paddling a lot easier. Just really well built in general, good handles, good grips. As you can see, I give it hell and it's scratched up, but it's not an issue. So if you plan to head out on the surf, I would recommend getting potentially another strap. These are pretty good. I've flipped this boat many times up against rocks and stuff. The strap usually does the job, that tightens up, but I have flipped it once and I've lost this whole thing, all the fish came out. So if you're going to go out say off the west coast or through some good surf, I would look at getting maybe another ratchet where you would just put it over for going in and out over here and just really lock that in. So people often ask me when I'm spearfishing off the kayak, do I tow my kayak or do I anchor it? Basically the biggest question I get. So generally I actually just tow the kayak. You'd be surprised, even a big kayak like this, I believe it weighs around 27 kilos, so it's probably 35 kilos at least once loaded up, and you barely notice it dragging it around. I find that's just the best way to dive. I like to just tow it behind me. If you get your currents right, you can cruise along some vast stretches of coast, and it means you don't have to keep doubling back over coast. You can cover a lot of ground, and that's the way you find those magic spots. You know, you need to cover some distance, and it might be just this one little crack running down from a cliff or one little point, and it's just one of those magic spots. So that's what it's about, just exploring, finding new spots, and I think that's the best way to do it. If I'm gonna target specifics like crayfish or snapper, setting burleys, or I just want to hang around an area and work off it if it's very fishy, yep, whack the anchor over in a nice spot and you can just work off it. Set a few burleys for some snapper, hunt for some crays, and just use that as a base, but it's not an issue dragging it around. Okay, transport. I just put the kayak on the roof racks of my car. You can get specifically made trailers and stuff. But these, yeah, around 30 kilos, a little bit less this model, and you can lift it up if you're semi-fit and get it on the car. There's special kayak extenders for roof racks if you want. Help slide it up onto the roof. Those are pretty cool, and stop scratching up the car if you fall and slip. Here I've got some C-Tug kayak wheel setups. So these all collapse. These all break down to a couple of bits, and they can actually sit right up in the front there, or even fit in there. They're very compact. So there's a couple of models. I think there's one called the Sand Tracks. See, these are a hard wheel, and not the best in soft sand. As you can see, these are pretty much brand new. I end up just dragging my kayak up the beach. I'm a bit rough, but generally you're fairly close to the water's edge anyways, so drag it over some rocks, drag it over some gravel, sand, whatever. It's not the end of the world. So if you are going to get some wheels though, if you're going to drag the kayak quite a far way, I'd suggest getting some with some big soft wheels, which will absorb all that soft sand and much easier to tow. As you can see, I've got basically no aftermarket add-ons to this kayak. Just to dive off, it's pretty much set to go. That's why I got it. I don't want to deal with, you know, modifications and stuff. It's just easy, ready to go. So highly recommend this kayak for anyone looking into getting into spearfishing. And last but not least, the old spear gun that needs to go somewhere, so it's quite important. I generally just poke my spear guns up into the front well here. They just wedge in, sit nicely on top here. Obviously legs either side, and it's not going anywhere. I usually take 2 spear guns and just poke both up there, and not an issue. So let me clear up towing the kayak behind me. Never tow it to your body. Never tie anything to your body while spearfishing and diving. It's very dangerous. So you connect it to the spear gun, okay? So I'll pre-tie this all off before I launch the kayak. So connecting your float line here to your handle and your gun, and I'll run that and tie it onto the nose of the kayak, and then I'll just have that coiled up here, float line, so you're ready to go. Fins on, mask, snorkel, weight belt, and grab your gun, jump over the side. You just want it all basically really simple and set up to go when you're out there, because everything's a bit more difficult once you're on a kayak sitting out there, and it's especially a bit of a chop or a swell. So get yourself really set up, comfortable, ready to go, and ready to jump in. Right, so here's my scratched up hull. Dragged it over a few rocks and stuff in its time, but hey, it's solid and not going to have any issues. So these kayaks, if you're going to be rod fishing and you want to get a sounder put in, it's all pre-built into the hull, so you can chuck your transducer here. Got a little bung there, beautiful tapered hull, just slices through the water. I've probably missed quite a few points, so just chuck a comment below if you've still got more questions. Other than that, it's just a wicked setup. easy to wash down. As you can see, pretty much all plastic. Even the fittings, they're all nice stainless fittings, so don't need to worry about rust. Just a awesome kayak. In general, for a diver like me, you're just not going to need the rudder. It's such a long kayak, it doesn't get affected by the wind too much. It sits very low in the water. Yeah, so you're just sitting just above the water, so it doesn't catch too much wind. But if you're going to be fishing off that and covering huge distances, yeah, maybe the rudder's an option for someone, but I just like to keep it really simple. Less things, the better. That's just diving in general, spearfishing. Keep your gear simple. I've tried a lot of different gadgets and things over the years, spearfishing, and it always just comes back to simple the better, okay? So just keep your gear as simple as possible. It's safer, easier, and more enjoyable. So yeah, in summary, pretty easy guys to get set up. I just can't recommend diving off a kayak enough. It's just awesome. The interesting places you can get to where you can't get by boats, all that stuff, it's just awesome. It's a very unique experience being out there just on the water. So for any of you out there thinking about getting into it, highly recommend it. If it's the case of getting a little $200-300 kayak or a second-hand one, just get into it, because you know, it's a big investment if you're going to get something like this. So grab a little second-hand one, give it a go, and if you like it, I highly recommend something like this. So key points, around about 4 meters, the longer the better, nice width, stable platform, and plenty of storage, key for diving off, okay? But yeah, get out there, give it a go, and I think you're going to love it. If you enjoyed that, I hope you got some tips out of that and gave you a bit of inspiration to get into diving off a kayak or fishing off a kayak. It's just awesome. And again, write a comment if I missed anything. I'm sure I did. Hey guys, and if you want to support me in my channel, if you like what I do, that would be really good. I'd be grateful. I've got a few links here in the comments, just check them out. There's a few options like Patreon, buy me a coffee, I've got a YouTube channel membership, and all that goes a long way to fuel these adventures and bring that content back to you. So much appreciated. If not, a bit of a thumbs up or anything like that would be much appreciated. So hey, we'll see you out on the next adventure. Safe diving, and good luck out there.